Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Brendan, and in this video I'm going to talk about should you buy a 5-digit Submariner or a 6-digit Submariner. So let's get straight into the video. So I'm going to take you through this with two incredible models. I've got the Kermit, the 5-digit reference Submariner here, and the Hulk, the 6-digit reference Submariner here. Both green, both in that theme, but both very, very different. So the first thing I would say is, if you want a more elegant, slimline look to your watches, you've got to go with the 5-digit reference for sure. If you're into that, go with the 5-digit reference. If you want more of a presence, more of a statement watch, go with the 6-digit reference. Now, we're looking at two green watches here, but the same would be said if they were black dial Submariners. The same would be said if they were precious metals. If you get a precious metal 5 digits, it's going to look much slimmer than a precious metal 6-digit reference for sure. So let's look at the wrist shot here of the Kermit. So this is a 2007 green bezel Submariner, and you can see this piece for me wears far slimmer than its modern day alternatives. I love the 5-digit reference Rolex sports models. I think they fit nicely between an older, more vintage watch and a high-performing modern-day ceramic watch. You can still technically swim in this. It's a dive watch. I probably wouldn't because it's nearly 20 years old now, so I wouldn't necessarily want to do that. But they pop in a way that is very, very different from the 6-digit cousins or brothers. Now let's look at the Hulk on the wrist here. So for me, it's a bigger piece, it's a bigger watch. It wears in a more, here's the watch present status way. It doesn't matter that if that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, you're buying a Rolex Submariner, so it's one of the most recognizable watches on the planet for sure. But if we compare it, look at that, the double wrist shot. If it's good enough for Kevin O'Leary, it's good enough for me, right? If you compare these watches, it's a slimmer, lighter wear here for sure. There's absolutely no doubt about it, versus the Hulk, which is a bigger watch on the wrist. But I have to say, I've been wearing this more and more recently, and I'm absolutely loving the Hulk in general. Make sure you check out the Hulk review that I have if you like this piece. I think you'll enjoy that and get a bit more time with this particular watch. The Kermit has a slimmer bracelet, has a more tapered feel to that bracelet as well, even though this 40mm Submariner does have a much thinner bracelet than the 41mm Submariner. So my message to you is, if you want more of a slimline, vintage, elegant, slightly more understated feeling to your Submariner, then go with a 5-digit. If you want more of a status, larger, modern day, maybe more bulletproof feel, go for the 6-digit. And you can obviously check out the 1-2 reference, which is the today's reference, versus the 1-1. And that's a slightly different feel again, with the 41mm case size versus the 40mm case size. When you go 5 digits, you've got more variation to choose from. You can go back into the 50s, 60s, 70s and look at the 5513s, the early day beautiful patinas. You can pay big money for those. You can go with the red Submariners where the lettering is red on the dial. You can go with the maxi dial versus the minimal dials. There's a whole host of collector sort of conundrums in there. When you go with the more modern day piece, you're kind of going with what feels like a slightly more mass-produced piece. It's an amazing piece. It's bulletproof, it's incredible quality, they look great, but the patina, the change of that over time, the variation of the dials and the parts, you don't have that with the more modern day Rolexes. You do have it with some of these even slightly more modern day 5-digit pieces. You have that as well. So that's a consideration. If you're more about collecting and the stories and the nuances, the 5 digits and even earlier than that, the 4 digits will definitely serve you well. It'll satisfy that intrigue and give you that thrill of the chase. If you're more about, I want a great watch, I want it to perform well, I want it to look great, maybe the 6 digits is the one for you. Which one do you think though? Comment below. Do you like the 6 digit? Do you like the 5 digit? And which Submariner is your favourite? More coming on that. I've got more videos lined up, including my birth year Submariner, which it's absolutely my favourite Submariner because it's my birth year. I'm not going to tell you the year just yet, but it's old. So that's coming in the pipeline as well. What's your next watch? What are you looking for? Comment below and make sure you subscribe if you like more watch collecting content, fragrance content, lifestyle, and all that cool stuff. I really enjoy sharing it with you. I will see you again on another video really soon.